All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Monday evening. Another edition of Knicks Weekly presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. On this episode, the Knicks go 4-0 on the week. We're going to recap all the highlights and all of the good things for this 21-15 orange and blue crew, man. CP the franchise, Alex Rotaros on the ones and twos. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. This is the number one show for the fans, by the fans, the number one Knicks podcast for the fans, by the fans, home of over 70,000 subscribers. KnicksFanTV. Let's get it cracking, man. Let's go.
Let's get it.
How you feeling now?
I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah.
You know, we did the NBA report earlier today.
Yep.
That was a good show. So for those of you that don't know, make sure to tap in. That's the hat that CP's wearing right now.
Yeah.
For the NBA report. All right.
Absolutely.
With CP the franchise. Don't forget the with CP the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a good
and then,
show.
Man, we had a great show. And then, like you on that show said, you wrestled with the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I then had to wrestle with the Christmas tree
nice.
today.
How did that go? Did you use a bag?
Not great.
Did you get bushy with it, or did you get down and dirty with it, man? Did you drag that thing out the house? Pine needles all over the place.
So I live on the second floor, just so you know. I live on the second floor.
Yeah.
Got a back balcony. I took that thing to the back balcony in the backyard, chucked that thing outside, and then dragged it all the way out front.
Good job. Good. Yeah, that was good. Good job by you, man. Just a little toss. Just a little toss, man. I put mine out today, not realizing that they weren't going to come pick it up. So it's still out there right now. So I got to go out there and go get it.
Oh, man. I walked outside and I saw everyone else have their trees outside. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is the week to take the trees. Oh,
yeah.
Snap.
Yeah, I called, but watch these guys haul the garbage away. I'm like, yo, why didn't they take the Christmas tree? Call up sanitation. It goes out on recycle day. So I got a couple more days, man. But, yeah, we did get to tussling on Friday night. And, yeah, man, that's a good part about the holiday, man. But either way, how about the Ja Morant, man? Done for the season.
That's insane. That came out of nowhere.
Well, when I saw him in the sling last night against Phoenix, I was like, was it separated shoulder or something? I mean, to be in a sling, that's a while. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to say whether it's like end of the season type of thing, but to be in a sling, is that like separated shoulder or sprain? Right. That's pretty bad,
But for the rest of the season, though?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy, man.
I did not expect that.
That is crazy,
There goes the Grizzlies' chances of making the play-in.
There goes that. And then Halliburton went down tonight.
Dude, this is quite the night for some news.
Yeah.
Halliburton thing, they said it was it's a hamstring strain, but
he was grabbing his hamstring.
I know, but he had to be carried off the court, though. That was... Yeah. Hopefully he's all right. Like, hopefully both of them have a quick recovery between Ja and Tyrese, but, man.
Yeah.
That Tyrese one, I was like, ugh, man did a split on the basketball court.
Right.
That had her.
That's a tough one. Definitely a tough one. So something to monitor. So to everybody in the chat once again, man, hit that thumbs up button for you boys, CP and Alex, on the ones and twos. Al, Orange and Blue go 4-0 on the week. 4-0 on the week. A win over the Timberwolves. Then you had a win at home, come from behind victory over the Chicago Bulls. A stomping out of the Philadelphia 76ers. And then, they hang on to it against the Wizards, but for the most part, handle business. 4-0 in the campaign. What do you think, man?
Great showing for OG Anunoby, Yeah. We had a 9-game winning streak when Josh Hart joined the team. Let's see if OG can surpass that. But for a guy who just joined the team to go on a 4-game winning streak and be part of the starting rotation, it's not like he's a bench player. It's not like, he's still a role player, but to be in the starting rotation and then play a lot of minutes,
yeah,
that's big to go 4-0 and to show that you can keep up with two top-tier teams, that being the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are number 1 out west, and the Philadelphia 76ers, who are 3rd in the East. It's a good showing, man, for a guy who just got here and for a Knicks who have a new starting 5 and then have to figure out their bench rotation, right? And most of those guys on the bench aren't getting a lot of playing time. But through that, I think it's been very impressive for the New York Knicks. I think the biggest thing is that there's more spacing
Yeah.
for Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. And the fact that we had both of them give us a 30-point performance. What was it, against Chicago? That's great, man. That's great.
Yeah, and what I liked about this week is that, you know, the OG factor, and we'll do a bit more of a deep dive on that, but just the way that they were able to handle business under duress. And what I mean under duress in a way like, you know, they lost two major pieces of the puzzle here. Guys who they had chemistry with, guys who they were building with, and then all of a sudden here comes a new guy. It clearly looked like they were out of sync in the Timberwolves game, but they still go out there, lead with their effort and defense, and everything else would catch up from there. So just to see them still handling business all while trying to develop a new, you know, not necessarily identity because it's still there, but a new chemistry with each other, with a couple of new additions. I thought that was pretty impressive. And to be 21-15 on the campaign after all of that they've gone through a tough December, through trades and all of that, they're in a good spot. That's what I take away from this week, man. You got 2 signature wins. You got 2 wins over teams over 500, number 3 seed in the East, number 1 seed in the West. You got to love it, man. They're in a great spot. Trades be damn. And on tonight's show, you know, I did Fred Katz's show this morning, and on The Athletic, and we played this game where we couldn't talk about trades or the future of the team. So there were 20 different terms that we blocked, that if anybody mentioned it, you would get a point against you. And so I thought it was interesting, and I think we should take that approach tonight. Take a break from the trades and really enjoy what we're watching here, because this team looks like, with the addition of Anunoby, looks like a team with a lot of potential, and right now it's playing very well. So I would say let's enjoy that, man.
Yeah, and we don't have to talk about trades or anything of that nature, but with OG Anunoby on the squad, man, it's just opened up everything for everybody. And I think for Tibbs, this is exactly what he wanted. You know, we always hear about the term Tibbs guy, Tibbs guy, Tibbs guy. And I know that OG's gotten a lot of comparison to Luol Deng, right? Just because they're from the UK, 3-and-D, very well known for their defense. For Tibbs, you just see that through this past 4 games, right? And I mentioned this on the other show. Through the past 4 games, the Knicks' defensive rating is taking a jump. They have a 103.1 defensive rating. On the season, they have their 18th with 115. So for them to take that type of jump with OG just being the only difference maker, right? You lose 2 guys. Sure, you get Precious here, but he's not playing a lot of minutes yet. He's not really involved that heavily. Malachi Flynn, outside of garbage time, hasn't really gotten enough to really make an impact on this team yet either. OG's immediate impact on this team has just been transcended, honestly, because the way that he's able to guard the toughest defender, right? That was given to Quentin Grimes, but OG, a better defender than Grimes, more switchable, more versatile. You see him. He can guard Cat. He can guard Anthony Edwards. He can guard DeRozan. It doesn't matter. He's able to guard 1 through 4, and on some nights 5s. And I when you see that, that gives everybody relief to just focus on what their role is, right? You don't have to ask Julius to go do something more than what he's capable of. Same thing with Brunson. And when you see that, that's when you get those 30-point performances from those guys in a game, and you're like, oh, these guys can now just focus on playing offense. Or if you look at Julius over the last couple of games, how he's attacking the passing lanes, the hustle plays that we haven't really seen from him too often in years past, but now he's really taken up a step this season. And really, after OG has been added to this team, like, he doesn't have to focus on saying, oh, you know, this is where I can't wait for a Bucks matchup where you see OG probably guarding Giannis, and it's like, oh, Julius can then play a little bit more, you know, the passing lanes, and could play off ball on the defensive side and see what his impact could be. But overall, with OG, man, it just has put everybody back into position, and it's spaced not only the floor offensively, but it's kind of relieved everybody else of their responsibilities on defense too.
And thus far, the differential is stark. Whether you're looking at it from statistically or you're looking at the eye test, they're outscoring opponents by 40 points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. So how's that for impact? And this is more from
how's that for data?
How's that? Take that for data, right? And here's Tommy Beer, our guy Tommy Beer on OG's on all splits. He said since trading for Obi in the 138 minutes, he's been off the floor. The Knicks have a defensive rating of 95 and a net rating of 29.6. In the 102 minutes he's been on the bench, the Knicks have a defensive rating of 127 and a net rating of minus 11.8.
Wow.
There you go. And it just seems like maybe because like you said, his entrance into the team has, allowed everybody to play their role. But you could also make the case, hey, maybe competitively, these guys are looking at him like, yo, we got a dog in here. We can't slack.
Right.
We can't make him look bad.
Right.
So I think he's also elevated everybody else's game to like, yo, we got to step our game up. We got this guy for a reason. The front office made the decision. They've needed a wing in the worst way. They needed defensive versatility. They needed a stopper in today's NBA terms of a stopper. And I think that's brought everybody else along for the ride, man. Everybody's playing with a chip on their shoulder, and that's what you noticed this week as the team is trying to get it together. They're locked in still.
Those are all facts, CP. And look, I know you've played sports in the past at the high school level. Like I played, like I told you, I played rugby in college. And like the one thing I know is that when you play with talented people, it raises your level of talent because you don't want to look like that weak link. You just don't. And so whether it's OG just being a dog on defense, like if they're seeing that, they're like, oh, well, if he's giving it all he's got, because every single night he's got to guard somebody like Anthony Edwards. He's got to probably guard someone like Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's going to have to guard Jason Tatum, right? You can't be like, this guy's giving 110% and I get to take a day off. That you can't do that. So to your point, yeah. And probably like Brunson, we know that's not that type of guy. We know the work that Julius puts in the offseason too, but just like, even though they work hard, that mindset of like, okay, now we really got to compete. And then when you start to see that work transpire in front of you, where you're taking down the Timberwolves, where you're taking down the 76ers, then you go to Julius's comment where, he was interviewed, I think it was after the Sixers game. And he's like, we believe that we can take down any team. We believe we can keep up with anybody. And then when you start to see the results, you start to believe that. And then the confidence factor comes in, right? And then when you're a confident team and you go compete against one of those top teams, like you're not going to back down, right? Yeah. Confidence plays such a big factor in sports. And like, that's why you hear always someone say, shoot with confidence, play with confidence, right? And so if you're confident that, hey, my guy's going to do his job, I know I can do my job. You're going to go out there and start racking up some wins like Jalen Brunson wants to do. And the next thing you know, this team looks like the way that it is.
True indeed, man. Salute to William Burton, our franchise channel member, sends us a $10 super chat. Shout out to William Burton. Salute to all of our franchise channel members in the chat. I see Ignacio Lobregat. I see the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Hasn't missed a show. He was with me earlier during the matinee edition of KFTV. We had that rocking. He was with us for the NBA report, and he's here for the triple header, man. He's here for Knicks Weekly. So shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Never misses a show when he's available, so we appreciate him. Shout out to Devin Cerner, Gregory Weiner, always in here, man. Frame Bloss Music, salute. Jamaica Queens 22, salute. JJ, I'm him. Salute to everybody, man. Who's winning that Michigan game out? I had it on, I turned it off.
I was watching basketball in all honesty.
Okay. All right, yeah. I was taking a look at the college football thing, yeah. Nah. We're supposed to have a special guest on tonight, but they canceled on us, so yeah. Yeah.
Maybe another time.
But you mentioned Jalen Brunson, Al, and would you know it, our guy JB, Captain Clutch, the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Jalen Brunson, 27.3 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 9 assists, leading his team to a 4-0 week. And this was so funny. Our guy Schwinney from the Strickland had this comment that I thought was so timely and on point. He's like, we've now gotten to the point where this announcement is almost like a surprise because you get so used to Brunson killing that, like, I saw the thing. I was like, really? He got Eastern Conference Player of the Week? Like, you get so used to him going out there and destroying people that now you take it for granted that he's Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Great job by him, man.
Absolutely great job by him. This goes back to last season too, right? And the one thing I just ask is for the league to just recognize his talent, man. Because last year he didn't get that nod for All-Star. He should have been an All-Star last season. He should be an All-Star this season with Julius. All right. He should even be All-NBA for what he's doing right now, man. Like, his ability to continue to get to his spots no matter the opponent, there's only a very few people that can do that. And so when you can just rely on, like, I know game in and game out, he's going to get to his spots. The question is, like, there's some nights where he's off, right? Which we haven't seen much of last season. It was very rare that he was off last season.
Yeah.
This year, you could probably attribute that to the FIBA World Cup and having to put some extra miles on his legs. But even still, the dude is still a dog, and they just went through a rough slate in December. And so even when you see some of those games where it's like, man, he's got to travel so much, and he's still, like, maybe that's another reason for why he's off. Like, he's still great, man. And he just needs to be recognized by the league at this point.
Yeah.
It's just really weird where we see these awards and I'm like, he should be like this every week, man. Like, you should probably be getting an award every week because that's how good he is.
Yeah, very true. Very true, man. He's just been sensational, and he got it done in a variety of ways last week when they played the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves did their best on him defensively through a lot of different looks at him, a lot of different players. He came out there with 13 assists still, and I didn't, even though it was an off shooting night, I still loved the way that he played out there, just leading his team, competing and playmaking. I thought that was an excellent job by him. And then the Chicago game turns up 30 points. Who do you have guarding him? He had Caruso on him. He had Ayo on him. Kobe White, didn't matter, shredded him. And then goes on to Philly. Then have a efficient night, but still got it done. And that was another interesting thing about the Philly game, just as a team as a whole. Julius had 8 points. Brunson wasn't as efficient, and they come out of there with a 20-some-odd point victory. And so you saw the team getting it done in a variety of ways this week. But and then, against Washington, he just does what he needed to do, man. 9 assists this week. 9 assists this week for JB. Very important. And a nice number to see. Nice climb up for him.
When I see the 9 assists, I'm like, is it just because RJ was bricking a lot of shots? That's my first thought,
he just
man.
Dropped 37 points last night, man. Put some respect.
He did, man. He's hooping. Hey, I'm not. Look, man.
I'm just gaslighting the RJ. I'm just gaslighting.
He is what he is, but I'm just like, you asked him to play. He was asked to play the OG role, man, and that's not who he is.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, like, okay, this guy can actually facilitate. We're just not seeing it because to get that assist, the guy has to knock down the shot. They got to
make you look good. They got to make you look good. For sure. So shout out to JB on the week. Great job by him there. And, not to wish injury on anybody, but who knows what happens with this Halliburton injury, how long he's out. Does that elevate Brunson in the All-Star standings? That's certainly not the way that you want to get in. You want to get voted in, but he may find a way in there, come hella high water. So we'll see what happens there, but great job by Jalen Brunson. Who else had a great week this week? This was an interesting article by our guy Fred Katzow of The Athletic on Julius. Jalen Brunson's not the only one who's most improved here or who's improving here. Julius, how about Julius Randle? Great article by Fred, who interviewed Randle and talked about what's changed in his approach, because similar situation where whether you're looking at the eye test, watching the games, or you're looking at the stats, you're seeing the guy who is, again, changing his shot diet for the betterment of the team. and he's seeing great results. He's now averaging 15 drives per game compared to 9 in the past with the Knicks. Way more attempts and efficiency from inside 10 feet, which is right where you want to see him operating. And the key thing in Fred's article, when he talked to Julius about what's changed, and Julius said while he was on the mend from the ankle surgery, he was in a hotel room for 2 weeks. He was immobile. And he said he started watching more film and noticed that he was taking bad shots. This is in the article.
So what we were saying for the last 2 seasons.
Wait a minute. According to Fred, he eventually noticed a theme. Despite his success, too many shots were needlessly difficult. You notice now, bro, he doesn't take those step-back threes like that no more.
He does not.
Doesn't the spinner Rudy, as our guy Carlo illustriously described it, is no longer, not as much, and he's not taking those step-backs. The long twos, they're cutting out the long twos. He's cutting out, getting the post-ups way high up by the elbow. He's damn near the three-point line trying to post up, making the game easier on himself. You got to like that, man, because it's noticeable. It's a noticeable difference in his game.
Absolutely. But I'll say this, as funny as it is, because that's what we on this channel have been saying about Randle. It's like, dude is just a tank. He can get to any spot in the paint that he wants to. That's all he needs to do. It's like, and we've noticed that the jump shot. Yeah, we even talked about last year. It's like every time Brunson took a mid-range jumper, you're like, okay, that's pretty confident going. Julius would take a mid-range. It's not like it's wide open. It's like sidestep, double team. It's like a lot of these Kobe-esque shots that he's taken a lot of, right? Yep. Where it's like very challenging shots that you should only take shot clock winding, and you can hit those. And to his credit, this season, when the shot clock has been winding down in difficult situations, and I'm thinking of I guess against the Timberwolves, right? He is knocking those shots down.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the Bulls, man. He's knocking those shots down. And so I got to give him credit there. But he did mention on Paul George's podcast that he said he wanted to be more efficient.
Right.
And watching film was a big thing to him. And you could just see it, like, the way he approaches the game, it's much more simpler, and it is efficient.
Yep.
Because he recognizes, hey, most of these guys in the league can't stop me. And that's what those are his words, essentially. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he's noticed. And when you see it on a night-to-night basis, this is the Julius Randle where I'm like, this game is transferable. And it gives me more confidence that this is more transferable to the playoffs because they're not difficult shots. Like, and how he's reading the game, where he's seeing the double team. Sometimes, it's a little late, but for the most part this season, he's been on point with making his reads, man. And I can't, you can't knock him for that. He's been playing really well. And this is, like, when I look at Brunson and Randle, I'm like, okay, these are the two legit stars. Like, Brunson's efficient. Now Randle's efficient, right? And from going and moving on forward, like, both their play styles are very physical. This is a team that you don't really want to face because of their physicality.
Yeah.
Along with their role players, right? Not only do you talk about OG, you talk about Josh Hart, Dante's physical, Grimes could be a physical, McBride, Hartenstein. If Mitch were healthy, he'd be there too. Like, it's this entire team, man, with the way Randle's playing and Brunson, everything's just so complimentary. But sometimes, man, this is where an injury can be good for a player, right? Where instead of, like, he's probably a guy that just, like, consistently thinks about the grind, just like going back to the gym, putting the work in, whether it's shooting, putting up shots, whether it's lifting weights, to take a step back and slow down and say, all right, what can I do now to actually improve my game? Hey, look at more film, man. This is something that it's interesting because it's like, for a guy who admires Kobe, this is something that Kobe always preached about, looking at the film and going back to looking at what you can improve. And I hope that it doesn't stop here, that Randle continues to include that in his work ethic moving forward.
Absolutely. And what you're seeing is also, and we have to give him a lot of credit for, is an improvement in leadership style. Yeah. Because he said it on that Paul George podcast, also about wanting to evolve as a veteran in the game and seeing the game differently and having the game continue to slow down to make better decisions, using the things that he's learned from his trials and tribulations, from his success and failure, to make him a better player. That's a great job by him. His attitude has changed. He's playing more spirited on both ends of the floor, making great decisions. And using film to be better. What more could you ask for in a player? So I think that's a great job by him, because he's always coming into camp in shape, in tip-top physical condition. He always puts in that work. Now he's putting in the film work. Could be seeing a different guy here, man.
For sure. And there is one thing I can ask for.
Yeah.
When you talk to the refs, talk with a smile on your face, man.
Yeah. So there it is. But yeah, great interview from Fred. Couple other notes from Fred's article. Since November 15th, Randle's true shooting percentage has gone up to 61%, and an effective field goal percentage of 56%.
61%?
61% true
Holy
shooting percentage.
Cow.
61%.
That's efficient.
Yeah. 61%, man.
And for people who don't know, that's not only the 2-pointers, 3-pointers, that's also your free throw percentage.
Yeah.
And so like 61% is usually like Devin Booker-esque, essentially.
Yeah.
When you're shooting that high.
Gregory Weiner, he's maturing as a player, absolutely. And the other thing he mentioned in here was the increase in the amount of pick and rolls that he was running as the season has progressed. Like once he got into November, they were utilizing him and Mitch in the 4-5 pick and roll to draw the big away from the basket, allowing Julius to get more steam and hit the basket and finish where the big is kind of trailing and trying to catch up. And so that was a great adjustment there by him and by Tibbs to get him easier shots. And so that makes me think, like, obviously you know a lot of teams are trying to pull the big away from the basket for sure as a basic, you know, element of an NBA offense. But with the addition of Obi, and our guy Chris Persinainen had asked Tibbs this question when OG first got there, where he said, could you see them playing small with OG at the 4, Julius at the 5? To typical Tibbs answers, oh, you know, I'll consider it. But hey, is that a possibility with OG's versatility, his size, a potential small ball lineup? Maybe you have, Brunson, Dante. Maybe you have Hart in there because you know he loves Hart. You know he's got to have Hart in there doing something.
How many love letters do you think he writes Josh Hart on a weekly basis?
Exactly, which is not a bad thing. I don't think, which is not a bad thing, but maybe sometimes you might run out of lineup of Jalen, Dante, Hart, OG, Julius, and maybe now you're running, you know, pick and rolls with OG. Or maybe you're running more pick and rolls. Maybe you're finally running more pick and rolls 1-5 with Jalen and Julius.
Oh, man.
See how that looks.
That would be a revelation.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, to your point, it wouldn't even be Randle at the 5. It'd be OG at the 5 if they run something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that would be nice. I mean, and no one's asking for, like, long stretches of the game, but if the game permits it, why not just tinker? Because who knows? Maybe that's a lineup you can use in the playoffs, you know? And let's just say for whatever purpose you do play the Pacers. They're healthy. They have Halliburton. They like to run fast. They don't have Miles Turner on the floor. Even if they do, why not run small and try to keep up with that pace, you know? But one lineup that we did see out there, the all defense lineup of McBride, Grimes, OG, Precious. And Josh Hart.
Yeah. That was a funny one. That was a funny one, to say the least. So, again, great job by Fred Katz. Make sure you guys check that out on The Athletic on Julius Randle. Another high point that we got to speak of. Well, we've spoken on them all week, but this is Knicks Weekly, where we recap the good, the bad, and the ugly of the New York Knicks. But another bright spot, I-Hart. I-Hart. The CP the franchise acquisition of the decade. I-Hart, man, we got to talk about him because he's absolutely beasting. He had a good week. If you look at what he did this week, we'll just pull it up. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. I mean, against the Wizards, 8-19, 17-6 against Philly, 10-20 against the Bulls. He had 20 rebounds against the Bulls, and then he had 79-333 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I-Hart had a good week, man. A good week by him. Yeah.
He had a great week. I mean, he's had spectacular blocks, especially against Rudy Gobert. That one against Chicago was who was it against? Patrick Williams. You know, he had that block too. I mean, he out-rebounded Andre Drummond, who was on a tear. So quite the week, man. And then he had 17 points against Joel Embiid.
17.
So that's a hell of a week, man. All I know is that he's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid.
Honestly, that's all I know. And for a guy who has been a journeyman, he's really found his stride with the Knicks. And I guess you could say that he's developed under Tom Thibodeau too, can't you? So, you know, this is the only thing, man. I mean, the conversation is going to be, what do the Knicks do with Isaiah Hartenstein at the end of the season, just because he's playing so well. But, you know, for as good as his shooting is, especially with the floater, how solid he's been defensively with all of his blocks, his rotations have been on point, especially guarding the pick and roll. The thing is, it's just the offense that he offers you, man. It just makes you think it's everything's clicking right now, right? You just took down two of the best teams, so it just gives you the thought process of what if we just ran with Isaiah Hartenstein as our starting center moving forward? Because everything looks so good right now. I know that, and it sucks to say that because Mitchell Robinson's also a force in his own right. But it only as a front office, those got to enter it has to enter your thought process of saying, what do we do with Isaiah Hartenstein? Because he is going to get paid.
Yeah, I think it certainly does. But it's like, damn, what are you going to do? You're going to pay him more than trade Mitch? That's tough, man. That's tough. I don't know. It's hard for me to see them, parting ways with Mitch. You never know. You never know. But for right now, he's playing very well, and he was never a defensive guy coming into this. This is what I talked about with Fred on his podcast. Like, when I-Hart was playing with the Clippers, he was an energy guy. Offense rebounds. He might shoot a three here and there. He can play make and be an energy guy. He was offense. That was his reputation. And then now he's become an enforcer. So, again, great job by him. Journeyman. And now he's found his footing here with the Knicks. Absolutely great job by him, man. And on the week, he was at 10 points, 13 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 2.3 steals, 3 blocks, 69% from the field.
Filling the stat sheet.
I-Hart is the guy. Salute to Shaheed. I-Hart is the guy, man.
All he's got to do is stop getting punched in the face, man.
Yeah, he's getting smacked around, man. That's the only thing. He's getting smacked around out there. So, hey, it's all.
It's like the complete opposite of Mitch, who used to be completely on the deck all the time, right? It's like go up for a rebound, contest a shot, on the deck.
Yeah.
Isaiah Hartenstein, it's like every single game he's just getting hit in the face.
Yep. There you go. So I-Hart certainly having himself a week. And the team
hopefully doesn't need a face mask, man.
Yeah, and the team has benefited from it. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boys, CP and Alex, on the ones and twos. Knicks Weekly presented by Manscaped. And I'm rocking the operator headset once again, man. Yep, CP the conductor, CP the operator, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, I gotta figure out this issue, man. The feedback that's coming through from the main mic. I don't know what's happening, but we will get there. We'll figure it out.
What's it like working tech support?
Air traffic control, man. It's
air traffic control.
It's
wow.
very fitting. It's very fitting. Yeah, it's very fitting. So I'm using the on the road headset, but works just fine. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? There you go, man.
Just think about all those commercials.
Yeah, remember those?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Or my favorite is, where you at?
Mr. Q of the Cats in the chat says CP the Gamer.
CP the Gamer. He's in the gulag. They're pushing. They're pushing.
Chuck D, CP rocking the Mike Tomlin look.
Oh, man.
Lamb Chop 76, CP, I'll take a number 4 large with a Sprite. Salute.
Calling plays on the sideline now, huh?
Calling plays on the sideline. So, all in good fun. A couple announcements, Al. Tuesday, we got the Blazers tomorrow on Tuesday. We will be doing another watch-along, play-by-play watch-along. CP, Alex, and Coach Chaz once again will be rocking for play-by-play and coaching analysis, man. This is what we're doing with our watch-alongs, man. Once again, for those of you that didn't watch it with us the first time, Coach Chaz, he's a player development coach for the Chicago Sky, the WNBA, but he also coaches along the additional ranks of basketball, has played internationally as well, and is now a member of Team USA, Al. Now a member of Team USA's coaching team. So congratulations to Coach Chaz. We didn't get a chance to announce that formally, but he'll be back with us tomorrow. So a rising star amongst the coaching ranks, respects what we do here at KnicksFanTV and wants to contribute.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Only the brightest and the best, CP.
Only the best and the brightest. So we'll do that on Tuesday. Then we'll do post game. Wednesday we got Derek Harper, 11 o'clock. I'll be on the putback with Ian Begley at 12 o'clock on Wednesday, and then we'll have NBA Report on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. So lots going on this week. Make sure you guys are tapping in. Make sure you guys are hitting the subscribe button, hitting the notification bell, hit the like button, all of that. Join our mailing list if you haven't, so that you can stay up on the latest and greatest announcements, including the West Coast Meetup. CP the Franchise, Jesus Nice hosting this Saturday. Knicks in Memphis taking on the Grizzlies, but we will be out in Hollywood with the Left Coast Knicks fan club. Jesus Nice has a Knicks fan club called Left Coast Knicks. He hit me up when I put the bat signal out there saying I'm trying to get the band together out in L.A. He hit me up. He said, listen, let's do the collab. Let's link. Let's do the damn thing. And we're making it happen. So already got CK on board. A lot of the regulars out there on the West Coast are coming through. We got Chuck coming through. David Futternick said he's probably going to be coming through. We got David Barral coming through. A lot of people, man. Yeah, we got a lot of people. We did also put the bat signal out there for videographers. We had a lot of people hit us up. So salute to everybody who wanted to throw in a name for reference. We appreciate that from the community. So we'll have somebody on board, a Knicks fan ideally, to capture the event, man. Going to be a good time.
I know it's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
Sad that I won't be able to be out there, man.
Yeah.
One day.
Absolutely. And so, and how about this, Al? How about this for this event? And this is how much. This is a Knicks bar. According to Decent Night, he told me this is an unofficial Knicks bar out there in L.A. It's called 33 Taps. And so, I'm talking to the manager. I'm setting the whole thing up. And despite it being NFL wildcard weekend, because in this country NFL is king, they're giving us the whole inside with the big screen and surrounding TVs with the game sound on. They said, franchise, you coming through from New York. We rolling the red carpet out for you out here in the West Coast. That's what we're doing.
Is the 33 for Patrick Ewing?
We'll find out.
These are answers I need, CT.
These are the answers, right? So when we drop the video that the videographer does, these are the important questions that we'll get to. So there you go. Looking forward to seeing everybody out there. Abdul from San Diego is going to be out there. Lawrence Peters already confirmed. Yes, absolutely. Randall Neptune, salute to Randall Neptune. We got Gambit in here. $20 super chat from Jesus Statue, Al. He says, trade idea. Mitch Precious and Archidiakono for Olynyk, Kessler, and Dunn from Utah. No Clutch Sports. Okay. Little Jesus Statue out there in Australia thinks we have a shot at Walker Kessler and Kelly Olynyk. Okay. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Al $50 super chat says terrible Memphis year. Adam Silver has looming branding issues. No other way to put it. The new faces are falling a notch. Ja, Zion, others, Jalen Green, Wemby's 5-win season, and reluctance to give suspects like Ant-Man and others the keys. Who's going to be the next? I think Ant-Man still. We talked about this over the summer. I think Ant-Man is going to be the next American face of the NBA. I think the next face of the NBA.
Yeah, we've discussed this, even with our guy Andrew. the 1-2 combo.
Yeah,
I think it's good. I think it's gonna be Ant-Man. I mean, I'll say this. I think Jason Tatum, he better win one before
if
Ant-Man
Tatum
gets
wins
ready.
one, right? If Tatum wins one, he'll be the guy. He'll be the guy.
Yeah, but Ant-Man closing in. He's a dog, dude.
Yeah,
Absolute dog.
yeah,
I mean, he's still young too. The fact
yeah.
that the Timberwolves are #1 in the Western Conference right now, incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Mm.
Because what is he? I think he's only like, what, 23?
Yeah.
Isn't Ant-Man only 23?
Yes. Shout out Kane Marco. Kane, salute. Kane says, hit that thumbs up. I love this team. I want Brogdon over Murray, and I have to say the trade worked well for both of us. Yeah. Yeah, we touched on both topics today. We talked a lot of trade on today's matinee edition of KFTV Live. Make sure you guys tap into that. I give you all my thoughts on the whole Murray-Brogdon situation. We break it all down. Contracts, pros, cons, everything soup to nuts. And then on the NBA report, we talked about the RJ trade. We talked about the RJ OG trade. We started the show off with that. So make sure you guys tap into that. Don't want to leave any spoilers, any leaks. Make sure you guys tap into those shows. Like, share, subscribe. You know the deal. Okay.
And I gave Ant-Man an extra few months. He turns 23 on August 5th. He's 22 right now.
There you go.
Ow.
Okay. Al, let's take a look at, you know what? We got some callers on the line. Let's get to them. Let's get to the callers first. St. Nick's 247. Unmute your mic.
What's up, fellas? You guys hear me?
Loud and clear, man. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
This is Steve from the Bronx, man. I'm a day one caller, man, from years ago, man. I'm proud of you guys, man. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, man.
You already know. I wanted to say, you know what OG reminds me of? You ever been into a fight or you ever get into sports with like the neighborhood and you don't have that big homie and you go back and get the big homie? You know what I mean? You go back and get the big guy. You show up the next day like, yeah, what's up? We ready to fight. You know, like that's what OG is like. OG is like having a big homie.
Even the series, even it up.
You know what I mean? You bring him to the park. You got that backup, and it just elevates everybody's game, man.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out. OG's really the real OG.
Yeah.
And just to finish off, I hope we trade for Brogdon. The boys over at Knicks Film School dropped a really good video the other day, basically breaking down how his contract just works, getting that contract to move it on in the future. So I think Brogdon is definitely the way to go. And you guys keep up the good work, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate the call. St. Nick's 247 checking in from the BX. Yeah, that's correct. We took a look at Brogdon's contract today on the show as well, and 2 more years. You know what I mean? He's an expiring deal at the end of this season. So that's essentially the point I was trying to get on the whole Murray thing, was like it would be a departure from the Knicks' previous acquisitions via trade, where they'd be taking on much longer term salary. And so is he the player that they're going to be going for to do that? Is it a temporary? Is it a acquisition and a flip? Whereas Brogdon, I see, is more realistic because of the contract situation. It fits from a basketball standpoint and financially.
It makes sense to go with Malcolm Brogdon over someone like a DeJounte Murray. And to your point, from what we see, the Knicks like to be in control of how much money they decide on a player. They don't like to, unless they know they're getting somebody great in return, where they value that player, like a Donovan Mitchell, where they would say, oh, that contract, we're willing to accept it because, one, the new CBA money hasn't kicked in yet, right? And the terms of those agreements and the salary cap and so forth. But at the same time, they, like I said, they like to make sure, like you look at Derrick Rose, right? They were able to give him an extension. You look at Evan Fournier when they acquired him, they were able to give him the terms of that agreement, right? To get that, to create that team option. Same thing with RJ. They wanted to make sure they had that control.
Yep.
From what it seems, they have to believe that you're in this high level category of player that they would accept that contract. But to hear the reports that they're interested in DeJounte Murray, they may classify him as like as a Donovan Mitchell type player where they're saying, you know what, that'd be fine for us because we believe he fits what we want to do here. And when you think about defensively, his shooting, you need somebody else who can lead that bench unit. So even if he were a starter, you could pull out Brunson and then let DeJounte run with that second unit and then relieve Julius and Brunson, or even DeJounte for that matter, if he was on this team, of just having to be that sole creator and scorer. That's where it kind of works out. But I think the one thing that we've also seen about this team is that during the regular season, they like to take that like measured approach where they go get someone like an OG Anunoby, right? Where they're like, this is going to be a high level role player, so we know what we're going to get. Brogdon makes the most sense because you know what he can be if he's healthy. But that's the thing, if he's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Shout out NY Bully $5 super chat. Says, what's good, CP? Alex, if you both were Leon Rose, what's one realistic move that you make before the deadline? I think we're talking about it now. Is Brogdon. It's definitely Brogdon. I would also look for more front court depth. I don't think they're out of the woods yet. Look for more rebounding, more defense, more tenacity. A 3-4, 4-5 hybrid. I think they should go there. One of the guys on ESPN, I think it was Tim McMahon, or no, what's the other guy's name? What's the other guy's name? Not Tim McMahon. McMahon was is it McMahon? No, McMahon was with the Mavs. Who's the other guy?
Legler?
Not Legler.
Windhorse?
He does a podcast with Windhorse and McMahon. Who's the other guy?
Bontemps?
Him. He was saying they should go get Gafford from the Wizards.
Gafford.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That'd be interesting. Depending on the price. Backup insurance plan. Are
you trading Precious then? Like,
I don't know what the hell the Wizards are on. Who knows what the Wizards are doing? They just got Jordan Poole, for Christ's sakes. Who knows what these guys are thinking over there? So that wouldn't be a bad idea. If it's on the cheap, that wouldn't be a bad one. For some depth.
Yeah,
I don't trust Precious in a big spot doing anything.
Do you think Tibbs should go back to Jericho Sims? Because Jericho played big minutes last year, especially when Mitch was down.
Not for the playoffs.
Not for the playoffs.
I think you need a little bit more. A little bit more. I think you need a little bit more insurance.
Okay. I'm going to switch up to the guards because I think you do need another guard.
Okay.
Would you inquire about Tyus Jones?
Yeah, absolutely. There was something me and Gal Seiler were talking about Tyus Jones on the show he was on. Let me look at his contract. What's his contract like? Is he at was it $9 million? I was like, no, it might be a little bit. No, it's got to be more than that. He signed a. Oh no, way more. He's got 14. So you're saying you put the 48 contract up to get Tyus Jones back? I mean,
I'm not me. No, I don't think he. I'm just because I've been seeing names for him out there. I'm like, I'm not. I don't think he's the type of guard that you would need off the bench. I think he's a good table setter.
Yeah.
I think what you need is somebody who can go get a bucket, which is what Brogdon
go get
can
a bucket.
Do. He could go get a bucket and be a table setter. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
He's solid, but he'd be a rental for me. Like I feel like I can get a Tyus Jones in the draft. I'll just go get a guy in the draft. You know what I'm saying?
How about Scary Terry?
We talked about that on the show. His contract is a little funky because he's got a partial guarantee. He's got like 2 years or like 1.5 years on his contract.
Yeah, so he's got this year, the following season, and the 25-26 season is partial guaranteed.
They're not doing that. I don't see it. But I also want to know, how do you treat those partial guarantees in terms of maneuverability? Right? Like, how do you treat that?
I have no idea how.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I don't even know what that type of like value. I don't even know how you would value something like that because it does get locked in after a certain date.
After a certain date, right? That's why I want to bring on Bobby Marks or maybe McDonough and talk about that. Not him specifically, but like how do you handle those situations where you have contracts with like partial guarantees?
Well, here's his guarantee. So according to this, I'm looking at Spotrac.
Mm-hmm.
The 24, let's see, for 25, 26, 24 million is guaranteed. The fully guaranteed, which is 26, is if Charlotte plays in second round of playoffs and Rozier plays 70 games in any of the 2022 to 23, 23, 24, 24, 25 seasons. So essentially he's getting 24 million. It's just another extra 2 million. That's kind of the bonus on top.
Okay. All right.
So do you want a $24 million contract is essentially what's going on here?
No. Not him. Not him. He can help. A lot of these deals, it's like we're doing the same thing. We're looking at the player. Sure, any of these guys can help. And then you got to look at the contract. Will the Knicks take that on? That's kind of how I'm weighing these things because of based on how they've operated.
It's funny how you started the show saying, let's not talk about trades. Let's talk about where this team is at currently. And here we are.
These guys took us down the rabbit hole. You know, he paid the super chat. So, you know, we got into the discussion here. And plus the last caller, Steve from the Bronx, brought it up. So there that is. Shout out to LambChop76, join the franchise channel members. Mick Monty, CB Rod, salute. Cartier Joe, salute. Okay. All right, Al, let's okay. I see some more on the Discord. Let's go to Cody Glock, Cody Glizzock. Let's go.
Yeah, hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right, man. Yo, shout out Manscaped. My average 0 turnovers because of Manscaped. Man, I take care of my ball profusely with the utmost friction in my mixing. No testimonials. Yo, listen, man. I'm livid. I'm tight. The chat is tripping.
Yeah.
The chat is. I don't know what is in the mind of the chat talking about trade Mitchie. You see Mitchie? Let me tell you something about Mitchie. You see Mitchie? It says Mitchie. It says no snitchy, and he's gonna stay like that. What's in the mind of these people? We didn't even get to see OG and Mitchie play together, and you talking about a trade scenario with Mitchell Robinson's name. I get the injury prone. I get the lower extremity injuries. Pause.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You paused for real.
I'm square. No, because this is it's serious though. This is serious. Why trade Mitchie and we didn't even see the guy on the floor with OG Anunoby yet? OG is looking like a one-man band man on defense. I seen one time a guy tried to Euro him and he was just stone cold. He didn't move. He didn't even look like he looked straight at the guy. And you want to trade this guy, Mitchie, who's the same exact thing. He locked up 2 people to advance. He single-handedly on the block took us to the next round. Single-handedly on the block took us to the next round.
Twin Towers. Dominated the Twin Towers. How quickly they forget.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, talk to him. Dominated the Twin Towers, man.
If we go up against somebody like Joel Embiid, right?
Yeah.
You think nobody can stop this man, Joel Embiid. You think I-Hart is going to have a good time guarding this man?
Yeah. Speak to him, man. Speak to him.
Mitchie is the only guy that could go and see Joel Embiid and be like, yo, I got this, guys.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he could either. But, I mean, the point is we need both of these guys for right now, man.
Terrible, man. I just wanted a call to talk about that, man, because it breaks my heart. It hurts my heart, B.
I understand, man. You know, I completely, you know, when that person mentioned it, we had to think that, you know, you were going to be coming through with some smoke, man.
I didn't call in mad long, and I needed to talk about that. And I heard you, CP. I heard you earlier talking about, oh, Mitchie's my guy, man. But the injuries, you too.
No, I
You
didn't say.
too.
Listen, I didn't say trade him, but it's a concern. How could you not be concerned? We got to be concerned, man.
Man, yo, shout out Nikki Pipes, man. Shout out Chuck D, man. Shout out Keloke Wah Wah Wah.
Yeah.
Shout out the real closer. Shout out everybody, man. Yo,
Yeah.
we running this up. I took a lot of time, man. We out, man. Come on, man.
Shout out to Cody Glock, man. I had to let him rock, man. He was emotional, man. You know, the Mitchie thing really, really hit him. Chuck said he's been waiting for this all week.
Oh, man.
Man.
But CP.
He's hurting, man. Yeah.
He's hurting. Shout out to Cody.
Yeah.
He came after you, CP.
He did.
You,
he did.
You put Mitchie on the block?
No, I'm not putting Mitchie on the block, but it's sometimes.
Man, how could you, man?
Sometimes I just keep it a little too real. How could you not be concerned when the starting center who you just signed is now going to be playing 21 games this season if he doesn't come back? Was hurt last season. Broken foot the year before that. I mean, do you see this getting better?
Damn, CP, you had a shirt made for this guy. He supports the
That's
channel.
my man.
Man.
That's my man, bro.
Man.
That's the little homie, man.
Maybe Cody was right.
I just gotta call it what it is, man. It's just unfortunate. He giveth and he taketh away. It's unfortunate because and also because you could see how much he worked, how hard he worked to get into the season in tip-top shape, and he was dominant when he got in, man.
Yo,
he's dominating.
He was an animal.
Mitch was dominating, man. So you could see it.
Yeah, and look, I'm just it stinks, Ben, because he was on that path to potentially being on an all defensive team this season, just because that's how good he was.
Yeah,
and even the games where he had that were bad, like against KP or even Brook, where Big can pull him away from the paint, it's because there's nobody else that you can rely to guard the paint outside of him.
Yeah. And
also because whether it's Dame or Giannis attacking, it's like he's meant to be that safety valve. Now, if you have OG there, defense is truly a team effort.
Yeah.
Right? You can't have one guy just guarding one person and thinking that it's going to be okay. Everybody has to be locked in on defense to some degree. To have OG, Mitch, and imagine if it's like closing lineup. You got Josh Hart out there. That's going to be tough.
I'd like to see the potential. I would like to see the potential. But I do believe they need to start looking towards the future. Go get another 5 in the draft.
And then you got Mitch doing some tween stuff, between the legs, just driving into the hoop. That's the stuff that we need, man.
Yeah, those things will probably never happen, but he can dream, man. He can dream. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boy CP and Alex on the 1s and 2s. Oh, we got more calls on the Discord. We got to load them up in the members lounge. Let's get to them. Too Cold, T. Cole. Let's go.
Yo, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm feeling good. Shout out to y'all, though. I've been tapped in all day with you,
Okay.
NBA Report, and the trade show earlier and everything, too. Appreciate you doing all those shows for us. I'm feeling good right now. We had that 4-0 week just a month ago. We had that really bad loss to the Jazz. We lost Mitch, and things are looking pretty good for us right now. And I'm just really interested to see what we're going to do at the trade deadline. I think Brogan would be a good look for us, too. But I-Hart is just really, really holding it down. And there's just been a lot of surprising things that have been happening.
Okay.
And OG anchoring us. I do want to see Mitch with OG for a little bit. I mean, if we can see that next season, that'll be fire. But appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good night.
Appreciate it, man. Too Cold, T. Cole, keeping it rapid fire. That's how we like to do things around here. Shout out to Too Cold, T. Cole. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
As we look ahead at the schedule, salute to everybody in the chat. As we look ahead to the schedule, let me pull it up. Hang tight. Where we at here? Okay, got it. So this week out, Tuesday, Portland, and then quick little, just road trip, really, at Dallas, at Memphis. To round out the week, man. What do you think? Dallas coming off of a statement victory over the Timberwolves last night, shorthanded Mavs. What are you thinking?
We're including the Trailblazer game too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Trailblazer, Memphis, Dallas. Going 3-0, baby. Going 3-0.
Okay. All right. I think so too.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going
wow.
3-0. I'm going 3-0. I think we take care of business and go 7-0. And then now that this team has cracked the top 10 in NBA power rankings, by the end of next week, as we go into MLK Day against the Magic,
Wait.
the stove is it's gonna start heating up a little bit.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say that at the end of next week, this team's going to be in top 5 power ranking? Is that what you're trying to say here?
No, but I think people are gonna start talking about it again. Oh, the Knicks are back. Knicks are great. It's gonna happen.
They still need a star.
Right. It's gonna happen. But I think they should be able to get right past Portland, no problem, if they go out there and play their game. Dallas, obviously, you have to contend with Luka and Kyrie, their three-point prowess. Although they're shorthanded, we'll see. Do you know how long Derek Lively's out?
No, he's out.
Okay.
They said day to day.
Day to day. Well, I gotta think without major rim protection there, we should have a lot of advantages, especially in the paint. I don't see how they are going to be able to focus on Randle and Brunson, although they did do a good job on the Timberwolves last night. I'll give them credit there. I still like Brunson and Randle's chances in that game. You put OG on Luka. You put Dante on Kyrie. And you start from there. And Brunson goes wild in his old building and torches his old team. I think Brunson goes for like 45.
You said 45?
Yeah.
So wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in Dallas though.
Yeah.
You're gonna go with Brunson getting 45, or you're gonna have Randle being home in his hometown.
Could be a Julius 40 piece.
What if they both get 40?
That would be insane. Lukai versus R&B. Who wins?
R&B, because Lukai, I don't even know what that is.
Lukai versus... Yeah, I was watching the Mavs telecast last night. They named them Lukai. Lukai. But either way, Lukai is not even on Big Perk's top 5 list, Al.
Ooh.
Top 5 duos. He's got Brunson and Randle at number 5.
Perk is always invited to the Knicks cookout, man.
Perk is invited to the cookout. He tries to be the contrarian to all the foolery that goes on at ESPN, which I like. I can respect that. So he puts Brunson and Randle at 5, Giannis and Dame Time at 4, Tatum and Brown at 3, Maxey and Embiid at 2, Jamal Murray, Jokic 1. What say you?
Repeat those one more time.
Brunson and Julius at 5.
Yep.
Greek Freak and Lillard at 4.
Okay.
Celtics duo, Tatum and Brown at 3.
Okay.
Maxey and Embiid at 2. Murray to Jokic at 1. Dynamic duos, Perk's top 5. What's yours?
I think the only one I would switch is Yeah, I think I'd only switch Max. I think I'd have to switch Maxey and Embiid with Tatum and Brown. So I'd put them at 2.
You put Tatum and Brown at 2?
Over Maxey and Embiid, yeah. What have they done? At least those guys been to the NBA Finals. Giannis and Dame, I mean, that defense is just god-awful.
And Dame hasn't really been Dame this year.
No, he is not.
He hasn't been Dame. And so on paper, They're
It sounds
good.
great.
It sounds great, but Giannis is really carrying that duo right now.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis is carrying that duo, and in a great way. I mean, he's been tremendous this year. He's having an MVP season in his own right.
Yeah.
So I think they deserve to be there. I'll put Brunson Randle at 5.
I gotta switch the. Pains me to say it, but I gotta switch the.
You're switching 3 and 2.
Yeah.
What do you guys in the chat think? You putting Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum over Maxey and Embiid? All right, I'll do that. I can respect that.
I'm not moving the champs. The champs are the champs.
Yes, yeah. Champs are there. That's locked in.
Yeah.
Locked in. Okay. All right. I'll put Tatum and Brown up there just because, Embiid and Maxey need more time to kind of establish themselves.
We just mopped the floor with them, CP.
Okay, so recency bias is factoring into your decision here.
They're new this season. They look good, but you know what? Hey, if the Knicks do that again to the Sixers, they're gonna be putting number 5, and we're moving everybody else up 1.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put them ahead, but just by a little bit, man. Just by a little bit. I really think it's a coin toss, but I can understand why you put him ahead. I can agree with that. I like where Giannis and Dame are. I agree where Julius and Jaylen are. The 2 and 3 is tricky with me, but all right, I'll give it that to you.
Oh, here we go. Do you believe that AD and Bron should be on that list?
No. I'm not winning. This is the winners list, bro. Knicks are 21 and 15. Put some respect on our name. Julius and Julius are leading the charge. Yeah, they won the in-season tournament. Nobody cares anymore. Sorry. That was many moons ago. We forgot about that already. We're in the top 5 right now.
Would you have Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield on that?
No. At their peak, if they had if you had a healthy Kyrie and Luka all year, I might put them at 4.
Wow. And so you would knock Brunson and Randle out of the top 5? Or you're just replacing Dame and Giannis completely?
Yeah, I'm just getting Dame and Giannis out of there. I'm hating right now because they beat us in the series.
Honestly, those two teams are very similar, very top heavy. I'd say the only difference is that Chris Middleton is been solid for the Bucks. So outside of that, the Bucks have more depth. They are a championship winning team.
Yeah.
They get the nod over that. But this season, pretty close for how bad that Bucks defense is, man.
Yeah.
Especially the Spurs kept up with them. That's scary.
We're getting comments. SGA and Chet. Should SGA and Chet be up in that mix? I think they deserve. I think they deserve to be close. I mean, Chet's not putting.
They're definitely in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely top 10.
But I'll say this. Let me flip it. It might not even be Chet. It might be Jalen Williams.
Fair enough. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Where do you put Fox and Sabonis?
Overrated.
Ooh, overrated.
I think Fox is carrying that team. The Sabonis honeymoon is going to wear out soon. The Sabonis honeymoon's going to wear out soon. Man. I think he's overrated. He's a good player, but I think he's overrated. Fox is my guy. Fox is that guy.
If Sabonis is your center going into the playoffs again, you're not going far.
You're cooked. Yeah. You're cooked.
Now I got to look at the standings and think about all these other duos.
Yeah. Kawhi and PG, Anthony Parasol. Kawhi and PG.
That's top. I mean,
definitely
those guys are. Yeah. That's lethal.
Definitely deserve to be up there. Kawhi Leonard's having a monster year this year.
Yeah.
They definitely.
I was looking at PG the last couple of games. I'm like, he's taking 20 shots and 10 of them are like threes.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate 3-and-D type player you'd ever ask for, right?
They're killing. Lamb
obviously,
chops.
PG could do more. Obviously, PG could do more than that, but the fact that he's taking like 7 to 10 threes a game is insane.
Yeah. Lamb Chop says Edwards and Towns.
Edwards is doing a lot of work.
Towns is having a good shooting year.
He's having a good shooting year. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
really
I think
really hard to sell me on Cat.
I think Kawhi and PG definitely have to be there. They might even be 5, if we're being real.
Or is it more Ant-Man and Gobert?
Depends on how you look at it. Right? Does duo have to be offense?
Let's see. I'm looking.
Kuzma and Poole.
Who'd you say?
No, somebody in the chat said Kuzma and Poole.
Yeah, that
Lopez.
I put them. I don't even know where I put. Probably 30.
Yeah. Almighty finesse. Franz and Boncaro. Honorable mention. I mean, I'm not going to put them up there yet. They're still young pups.
Jimmy and Bam. I can see your soul is like. I can see the vitriol.
No.
You looked at the screen so blankly. You're like, I really have to think about this right now. I'm not even trying to think about this right now.
I don't want to think about that. Fred VanVleet and St. Guden, they've been balling for sure. They've definitely been balling. Shout out to Conley, man. Josh Smooth, Dame looks depressed.
IQ, is it IQ and
RJ?
And Scotty?
IQ
and RJ? Or
IQ and RJ.
Scotty?
IQ and RJ, man.
Okay.
IQ and RJ. K. Marco, Caden Burks. Caden Burks. Calvin says Frank Ntilikina and LaMelo. Is Frank back? What's up with Frank?
I thought Frank was still on the. Was he
Is he in China? What's he doing?
I don't know. That's your guy.
Yeah, it was.
You tell me.
You saw DSJ caught a body.
He's still on Charlotte. Look at that.
Okay. Yes, DSJ outlined somebody in Chalky, so he's still out there dunking on people. That's good.
Is it Bridges and Claxton?
No.
Is that the Brooklyn duo?
No. All right, so we're going 3-0 on the year. What are you guys going? What's your record for the Knicks
on the
this
year or
week?
the week?
On the week. I'm bugging. What's your record for the Knicks this week? Leave some comments in the chat. Dan from New Jersey, let's go rapid fire. Let's go.
Okay. Wow.
How you feeling?
Pretty good, you guys. I'm just calling in because, I just had something to say about who the Knicks should pursue. I'm noticing, and everybody else is, that our bench unit is in need of some juice. And more importantly, I think, because we've gone just fine without the bench juice, this is more, to me, about Jalen Brunson getting significant resting time before the playoffs come. Because, listen, man, long story short, I was at runs yesterday. There was a 6'8" old head, and every time he closed out on me, he just, hit me in the face or, stumped my toe. I don't know how Jalen Brunson plays against bigger guys every night for 39 minutes, man. I'm over here icing myself, banged up. We got to go get Tyus Jones, man. We got to go get Tyus Jones so that Jalen Brunson can play 29 to 32 minutes a game, and we can win. Because this is a guy that's giving you on $14 million, 12 points a game, 53% from the field, 44% from three. He's got a deadly floater. He's a great shot creator for the bench standard. I really think you can't go wrong with this guy. He's on a team that's not doing very well. Maybe if you offer a couple of picks, they'll be able to take him. I don't know if they need to be first rounders exclusively. I don't know what his value looks like, but I would definitely look into that purely for the sake of making sure that we could get Brunson in one piece for the playoffs. Because if his ankle's bothering him in the playoffs, man, I really don't like our chances.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Yep.
We have to play the Oscars music for him, Al. He's his acceptance speech was a little too long. We did ask for rapid fire here. Thank you, Dan. Thank you and congratulations. Shout out to TM. He just sent me the sound effects pack. So we're just rolling out some new sounds. The Oscars music.
Oh,
Rapid fire, people. Rapid fire.
And we're at that part of the show.
We are at that part of the show. We're going to close with Ari, so we get 2 more people in here on the Discord. LJ on the Discord, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, PP, what's good, man?
Hey,
how you doing,
good,
brother?
Good, man. How's everything, man? Where you from, man?
Hey, from the Bronx, New York, South Bronx.
BX, always in here representing heavy, man.
Hey, this is my first time ever.
Okay. Did you get on the Discord today after today's show, or did you?
Yeah, I watched you earlier. I hopped on the Discord and I asked the bot how to go about, calling in because I was a little bit confused about that process. I was working and listening to you at the same time, so I'm finally up here. Appreciate it.
You okay?
I really, at this point, I really ain't have much to say. Oh, other than my man, DeSuce Nice, I went to high school with him.
Oh, nice.
I was seeing if I could get out there to LA to come, watch the game with y'all, but I'm probably not going to be able to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's it, man. Just wanted to show y'all some love. Appreciate y'all, man. Little brother from the South Bronx. Been following the Knicks since the days of Johnny Newman and Kenny Skywalker, and you know what I'm saying? So it's been a minute, but
there we go.
Y'all keep doing y'all thing. CP, much respect to you. You built this thing from the ground up. You can only respect the brother hustle, man. So thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Y'all brothers do your thing.
LJ on the Discord. Had nothing to say, Al, but just letting us know that he got the Discord to work. I appreciate that.
And then he appreciates the channel.
Yeah. We let him rock. It's his first time calling in. I didn't want to hit him with the Oscars music. He figured out the Discord. It's the first step. That's the first step. Now, next time.
You should get the round of applause sound effect.
Yeah, I still got to program everything. It took me a while to even dig up the Oscars music, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So, first time, we'll let him cook. Now, next time, if we need rapid fire, you got to, abide by the rules.
Every time someone says, I figured out the Discord, you got to hit that round of applause music.
Yeah. I mean, it's really not hard. I think people are more intimidated by it than anything else. I mean, the Discord is really simple. It's really simple. So I'm glad LJ got it. We did the demo today. We did a live demo. We had people calling in, so we showed people the chat. We showed people the Discord. We had people on the Discord saluting people on YouTube. So it was in the chat. So that was good. That was good. Okay. All right, Streaky, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, CP, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
What's up, bro? You call me Streaky. That's my it's actually my streamer name currently. But,
sure.
I'm originally from Manhattan, but I live near Boston now. So
okay.
Yeah, but love the show, bro. Thank you. Out of all the Knicks shows on YouTube, I don't even think it's close. So yeah, I've been watching you guys for a while. I think this is my second time calling. So just wanted to make a couple of quick points and then hear what you guys have to say. But listen, with the whole Robinson thing going on, he's just, I don't know, man. He's just not durable. I think he's too injury prone. And I love my mom, right? But if she's playing for the Knicks and she can't stay healthy, I don't know, man. She might have to go, So, and I think with Tibbs' style, Robinson is just too prone to get hurt. And I know he's a better defender than Hartenstein, and we know this, but I just want to say, I-Hart, I think, is a better passer. He brings you more offensively. But I'm hoping at the deadline, maybe the Knicks get a reliable backup center, and maybe you guys can touch upon potential options on who that could be. And then my other quick point, I think you covered this earlier, and then I'll see what you guys have to say. But I think Brogdon's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
He covers a lot of what Tibbs wants. But so here's my question: would you do a potential trade? Because Tibbs likes to run with a 9-man rotation. Mm-hmm. Would you do? And thank you for taking my call. Would you do Fournier, McBride, and a first round pick protected for Brogdon? And thank you guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate the call, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate the call. Streaky on the Discord. Fournier, McBride, and a first for Brogdon.
Is he including his mother in that deal?
Right. The poor lady, man. Hopefully mom's not listening right now. It's 11:54 at night.
She was just maybe cooking dinner for somebody. I don't know, doing whatever she was doing, and then next thing you know, she's getting traded on the show.
My mom made the meatloaf, and then next minute, she's getting shipped off to to Detroit.
Ma, the meatloaf.
What do you say, 48 McBride? Well, the McBride contract now becomes an issue in a trade, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it? Because they just signed him to the extension. So I believe that would be poison pilled.
I believe so too. I'm looking up to see what the deal is on McBride's contract. So you work with Portland. So he said Fournier and McBride.
Yeah, and a protected first.
And a protected first for Malcolm Brogdon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how that works out.
Sure. While we wait, people at home, go to Manscaped.com.
So McBride can't be traded.
Promo code KFTV, 20% off plus free shipping, man. Shout out to Manscaped. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, McBride can't be traded because he just signed the extension.
Right.
So he would not be able to be traded. Okay. So he would be eligible to be traded next season.
Right.
Not this season.
That's right. He's not even
because
eligible.
He signed an extension after training camp.
There you go. So that shuts the door there. Ari, close this out, man. Triple header. It's a long night. Ari, let's go.
What's up, CPX? You guys hear me all right?
Loud and clear, man. How you doing, bro?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. It's only my 3,453rd time calling in. Big fan of the show. Appreciate it. Listen, where we at? All right, so it's clearly win now mode, so I'm already kind of upset about that. But if we are in win now mode, I like the Burks idea, man, because you can get them for cheap. Okay, I like Burks because you can get them for cheap. All right, I like Brogdon, right? I like Bogdanovich, right? Bogdanovich.
Mm-hmm.
I can mess around with Bogdanovich.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you who I don't like. I'll tell you who I definitely don't want. I definitely don't want to trade everybody for Donovan Mitchell. No way. Okay. I definitely don't want DeMar DeRozan on this team.
Yeah.
35 years old, won't space the floor. Another ball dominant guy, disaster. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good on him. Murray's interesting. If I can get Murray at a decent price, I could be humored. But the thing about it for me is the team is playing well. The Knicks won the trade, even if the Raptors won the trade. I think it's actually both teams won, because they had different needs.
Yeah.
But I don't see we have these guys under contract for next year also. Okay, we don't have to extend Randle or Brunson until I think they're extension eligible after the end of next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we could just add another little creator, and listen, Brunson's gonna play 40 minutes a night. We don't need that. We need someone to play 10 to 15 minutes a night, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a big role here, right? We really don't, right? The team is gelling because RJ's not in the team. There's more usage to go around for Brunson and Randle, and because of now that you have Dante and OG, you have people that could, in theory, hit shots, right? And that's the way to build a team, man. So I don't see why we have to make any aggressive move. I'll be opportunistic. I'll take on. I'll make the cheap lateral move upgrades. Next year, I think, is the year to get really aggressive because you're going to have to eventually extend Randle and Brunson.
Yeah.
So I think next year you go all in. This year, see what you have, make a lateral move. And sorry to break it to what's his name, Cody Glock, but we traded Mitch, bro. We traded Mitchie, dude. Mitch, listen, man. This is how it goes, bro. Listen, not everyone can get paid. All right, we paid Mr. Glue guy $20 million a year to get some offensive rebounds. Okay, we have Mitch on the contract. We want to re-sign I-Hart, right? Then we want to pay OG 35 to 40 million a year. Then we're obviously super maxing Randle and Brunson. There's just not enough money to go around. We have to get off of these. We have to sell high, and we have to just, Mitch has value, right? Mitch has value. We have someone who could fill in for him. Yes, we lose on defense. We lose on offensive rebounding, but we don't have to play 4-on-5 on offense. And he's always injured, and it's mostly a financial move, right? But if we could just, I'm willing to give up one protected draft pick. Whatever one protected draft pick could get me, is what I'm doing. After that, I'm not trading the draft picks, man, because the draft picks is how you get superstars down the stretch. Not down the stretch, like down the line, right? And I want to maintain that flexibility. So overall, lateral move. We're in no rush, and go from there. I like to see Burks come back on the cheap though, but you know, that's your guy. But salute to you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, share. I'm out, yo. Peace.
Ari from Manhattan. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Did Ari just, you know, fire a little bow there to Cody Glock? Do we have a little smoke for a potential battle of the fans? I'm not so sure. I just ask the questions here with the headset. This is what you do when you wear the headset. You ask the questions, the hard-hitting questions that the people want to know.
You want the champ to come out of retirement?
Yeah, well, not me. It's not what I want. It's all about the people. I'm just asking the questions.
You're the conductor, right? That's all you're doing over here.
That's it. Just collecting tickets, asking questions, and keeping it pushing, man. Just keeping it pushing. Anyway, man, great show, Al. Great show, Mods. Great show, the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Great show to everybody who tapped in with us on that triple header. Long night. But this is what we do, man. T. Cole says, I may be jumping out the window, but I think we go on a 12-game winning streak. Game 13 against the Nuggets will be the real test. All right, I'm with it. Well, let's do it, man. Let's definitely do that. Remember, again, that this show is presented by Manscaped, fellas. Go to manscaped.com today and get your men's grooming tools, man. Below the waist, above the waist. Get your beard trimmer. You get your handyman, your close shave trimmer. You got the Lawnmower 4.0, your ball bag trimmer. And you get everything in between, man. From deodorants to lotion, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, you name it. Quality products. There you go. Manscaped.com, promo code KFTV, 20% off plus free shipping. Also, remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. Al, great.